Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. And today we're talking about everything about user acquisition, specifically how to test user acquisition quickly. What do you need from a data perspective, right? So there's about 3 things I want to look at today, and we'll jump right in by talking about UTM parameters. So when we think about user acquisition, we're saying, okay, we're going to buy traffic, or we're going to get traffic in some way or form, whatever that way that is. Users are going to come to our website, and we want to take some kind of action. Maybe we want them to create an account or do or sign up for something, or maybe we want them to download an app, so do like a mobile install. Whatever it is, that's the rough 2 steps. So we need 2 pieces for that initially, and there'll be a 3rd piece that I'll talk about after. 1, we need to know where users came from. So what are the UTM parameters that that brought them here? And 2, we want to be able to track that action. So tracking signups, tracking mobile installs, whatever that is. So the first piece, what we call UTM parameters, this is something that we can append to our URLs that we use in our ads or in our social media posts or in whatever we're doing to bring people back. And it simply tells analytics tools like Google Analytics or tools like Heap or tools like Hotjar, or basically any analytics tool out there, where the user came from, right? If we don't have those things, then the analytics tool will try and guess. We'll try to figure out, be like, well, it looks like the last website this user came from was Reddit, or it looks like it was Facebook. So I'm gonna assume it was like a social user. But this is not very reliable, which is why we wanna ensure that we append them. So to do that, let's jump right into this little spreadsheet here. And actually, let's actually look at this one, a campaign URL builder. That's what we want. So this is a tool by Google, and what we can do here is, and we can start by adding a URL. So http, example.com, and then we have 5 UTM parameters to play with: source, medium, name, term, and content. I always recommend that you use source and medium in everything, and probably campaign at the very minimum. So at the very minimum, those 2. Next level will be campaign, and then term and content is sort of a bonus points. So what we do is then we say, okay, let's say we're going to be posting, let's say we're going to be running some Facebook ads. So we're going to be running some Facebook ads. So the source of this will be Facebook, and the medium, we're buying them. So, let's do CPC, that's cost per click. And campaign, we'll simply take the campaign of our Facebook ads, actually. So we'll call it, Facebook ads beta test or something, right? And maybe that's what we called it. So now we go down here, we get the same URL, right? Example.com, and then we get this appended to it. So this are the UTM parameters. So now when a user clicks on this link, they still go to the home page. They still see the same thing, and really this doesn't change anything for them. But analytics tools pick it up. So Google Analytics will pick it up, and any analytics tools will pick it up, right? And now that they'll know that user, when they landed, they came from Facebook with a minimum CPC and so on, and you'll be able to break that apart. Now, if you want to see what that looks like, let's jump into Google Analytics here, and let me show you the typical Google Analytics report, the channels report. So here we have different types of traffic, but we can break it up by source and medium, for example. And this is UTM source, UTM medium, right? In our case, it was Facebook and CPC. And now we get that combination here, right? So now we can see how many users came from this very specific combination here and here and here and here. And these companies, of course, set in their own, they're setting their own UTM parameters. So that's where it becomes helpful. So you wanna be able to create URLs like this. Now, when we go back to a spreadsheet, the spreadsheet is usually the easiest way to do this, where you can just sort of type a URL, type a campaign, and then just type them here, and then you get it here at the end, right? We get this. We can still see the URL here with the UTMs, and the spreadsheet will just simply help you keep it organized. So just you want to be consistent. If you're doing a bunch of different campaigns on Facebook, you probably want to be using the same source and medium because it's still the same thing. It's still Facebook ads. If you then go on and do, let's say, Google AdWords, then you will change the source from Facebook to Google, but the medium is still the same. It's still CPC, right? So a spreadsheet will help you keep it consistent. So you're using the same values over and over again. One thing to know here is that a lot of these values are case sensitive for almost any analytics tool out there, which means that lowercase CPC is different from uppercase CPC, and that's different from like capital case CPC, which is a weird spell. I've never seen that. So it means that you want to be consistent how you used it, right? So if you used Facebook before and it was all lowercase like that, you want to make sure that whenever you use that again, use the same spelling, right? The same naming convention. Don't go like this and then go like, I don't know, like this, right? I've seen it over and over again, and that just it'll break your reports. Because it'll be a whole different traffic source. So then that means then you have to export your data, you have to clean it up and organize it and stuff like that. And you can save yourself a lot of the hassle if you're just consistent with your spelling. So that's piece one. So now we have this piece, and we add it to every single URL that people can click on to visit our website. Now we need the second piece. We need to be able to track conversions, right? So when we look at this piece, here's this. Now we know, where users are coming from. Now we want this part, the conversions portion. And this portion is about setting up goals, or being able to track when someone signs up. The most common way to do this is to have an event, or to maybe do a thank you page that you can track. I prefer events. I think they're a little bit more reliable. Maybe a little hard to set up initially, but a little bit more reliable. So we'll set up an event, and we'll fire that event when someone does the action that we want. So maybe that is they create an account, or maybe it's something else, or maybe they download PDF, or they give you their email, whatever that may be. We set up the event, and then we'll set it up in our analytics tool. I have another video about Google Analytics and goals. I'll post a link to that somewhere in the description or somewhere in the notes. But look at that. So once you have that piece, you want to be able to come up with this, right? Look at the traffic sources, where users came from because of the UTM parameters, and look at the conversions. How many people signed up? How many people completed that action? So those two pieces will then help you test your user acquisition efforts quickly. You'll be able to see what's working and what's not. A third piece, an optional piece, is very relevant, especially in the beginning stages. And let me actually go to the homepage of Hotjar. In the beginning stages, as you get more traffic, or as you get initial kind of burst of traffic, you want to understand what users are doing, and qualitative data will become really helpful here. So of course you can do things like interviews and feedback and polls and things like that. But nowadays it's quite popular to also do session recordings, to record what the users are doing, to run heat maps on pages on what people are clicking. And there's really tools for doing that. We have Hotjar as one option. There's a bunch of different things that Hotjar can do. We have heat maps. We can of course do recordings that shows where the user goes and what they click and so on. And there's a few other things, form analysis to see, are people getting stuck on forms and so on. So that's one thing. So Hotjar is one option. We also have full story, same thing. It lets you record where people are clicking on, where they're getting stuck, and so on, and create little segments. Either one will work. They're both very similar. But the point is that as you drive traffic, you then want to be able to say, hey, let's see the user who converted. What did they do? What are the similar characteristics that they have? And you can do that by looking at a few recordings and trying to extrapolate some patterns from that. So those three pieces, UTM parameters, be able to track those conversions, those signups, that action, and then layering on some qualitative data on top of that through tools like Hotjar and Full Story. Those three things will then let you test your user acquisition efforts quickly and see what works, and then double down on the stuff that does work while removing the stuff that doesn't. That's all for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.